What is up, Critics? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for August 5th through August 11th, 2021. So, starting off, the Dominator Asp is now officially available for purchase from the Southern San Andreas website. It was added today, August 5th, and it is the second drip feed vehicle of this update. The current prize ride for this week is the Anise Zr350. To get this car for free, you have to place top 4 positions in 5 Pursuit Series races, which honestly is pretty easy to do, especially since they included 4th place as well, and not just the top 3 positions. Now, this car is obviously primarily based on the Mazda RX-7 FD, probably the most popular and best vehicle from the Tuners DLC overall. It has a normal price of about $1.6 million and a trade price of about $1.2 million. So a free $1 million car from a brand new DLC that released literally about 2 weeks ago that you can win by completing some easy challenges is pretty amazing and generous of Rockstar to do. Now, some of you may be a bit annoyed that now players can get this car for free, so remember that you can always take the one you originally purchased and sell it. You can see mine right here sells for about $1.2 million, but again, this will depend on your upgrades and how much you paid for it originally. In terms of test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Dominator Asp repeating from last week, the Dinka RT3000, and the new Emperor Vector, which I assume is Rockstar hinting that this will be the drip feed vehicle for next week, as they did with the Comet S2 and the Dominator Asp the past couple weeks. Now, in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Seminal Frontier. This vehicle is primarily based on the Jeep Cherokee XJ. It has a normal price of $678,000, which is honestly pretty expensive for something that's based on an older Jeep, but we have to keep in mind that this vehicle was released with the summer DLC from last year, so it's still fairly new, and that's why it's a bit more pricey. Now, this vehicle is in the SUVs class, and obviously it's not very fast at all, not even considered quick, if I'm being honest. It's meant more for off-roading and the retro styling from the 80s, plus it has a lot of customization options as well. But anyways, for those of you who originally paid full price for the Seminal Frontier, you can still take the one you originally purchased and sell it for about $500,000, depending on your upgrades and how much you paid for it originally. So, is the Frontier worth attempting to win by spinning the lucky wheel over and over this week? Well, it's not a multi-million-dollar vehicle that we're used to seeing on the casino podium, so your profit from selling your original and winning this one really wouldn't be too high, and especially if you're spending a long time spinning the wheel over and over. Again, so it's really up to you. If you like the vehicle itself, go for it. Otherwise, I really wouldn't waste too much time spinning the wheel for this one. So, starting off with the property discounts, we have 50% off the CEO offices. An office is needed for most of the businesses in game, so guys, make sure you buy one if you don't have it already. It's something I highly recommend. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Taygon. So this car is in the supercar class. It has a very good combination of acceleration, top speed, and handling, placing it in top 10 for most supercar tracks, which is pretty amazing, but keep in mind that it's still a bit off the pace of the Emirates and Krieger, which are a lot faster overall. Next up, we have 40% off the Italia Gto, which is one of the fastest cars in the sports class around most tracks. It has good customization and is ridiculously fast over bumps and stunt races as well, so I highly recommend getting this one if you don't have it already. Moving on to the Southern San Andreas website, we have 40% off the Ellie. So this car is in the muscle car class and was the only classic Mustang we had in the game before the new Dominator GTT came out. So the Ellie itself, it's a good looking car with a very nice interior model as well, but the customization is pretty average. It's not really too great, and this car overall is very slow. Plus, it has the slow handling flags on top of that, which makes it a bit annoying to drive. It's really only something you buy for the styling of it, just looking at it, maybe taking it to a car meet, and that's it. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 30% off the Squatty. So this vehicle has very good customization, and it's very good at off-roading as well, and it can go in pretty deep water as well before the engine dies, but it is in the SUVs class for some reason, so keep that in mind for those of you that do off-road class races with different obstacles and stuff like that. You have to pick SUVs to use this one, which is a bit annoying sometimes. And lastly, we have 30% off the Alkanost, which is the largest plane in the game that you can buy. And that's probably the only reason you'd buy it, just to say you have the largest plane in the game that you can buy. Now, in terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on business battles. Not the best triple money, but at least it's something. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on the new street races, which is pretty cool. These are a ton of fun with the new tuner cars, but the payouts aren't very great. Even with double money, the payouts are going to be pretty awful. Again, those races are more intended for the new rep system to get a lot of rep and normal RP as well. And to note here, it's only street races for some reason. Rockstar did not include the Pursuit Series races for the double money, which is quite random, I don't know why, but that's what they decided to do. And lastly, we have double money NRP on survivals, which is pretty decent. I mean, I think I did plenty of survivals when they added the new maps before the Tuners DLC came out. I'm pretty tired of those for a while, but for those of you who like doing those, double money on them, pretty decent. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. I'll leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Prime Gaming member if you aren't one already. So we have the same ones as last week, which is 80% off the Coquette Blackfin. So this car is in the muscle car class, believe it or not, and it isn't really that fast in comparison to the others, but it's still a really nice car to drive with a great exhaust note as well. Moving along, we have 50% off the BR8, which is the fastest open wheel car in the game by far. So for those of you who don't own one, now is the best time to buy it if you're a Prime Gaming member. Also, we have 100% off the new Auto Shop property, specifically the Strawberry location. And I do want to clarify here that this specific discount is only for players who were active Prime Gaming members before July 18th. Also, don't forget that just for logging in this week as a Prime Gaming member, you'll get a free $100,000, which is pretty cool. Again, guys, if you don't see a discount on the vehicles I mentioned, it's because you don't have your Prime Gaming account linked to your social club. Again, all the information on how to do that is down below in the pinned comment. And lastly, we have, of course, the RC Bandito Time Trial Davis Courts. This week's normal time trial is Cypress Flats. I highly recommend either the Pariah, Italia Gto, Emerus, Krieger, Hakachu Drag, Shotaro, or a Batty 801 for that time trial. And this week's premium race is the motorcycle race Art to Art. I highly recommend either the Shotaro or a Hakachu Drag for that race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week is pretty decent. I'd give it an average rating. I feel that it's really lacking in terms of the quantity of discounts and the double money as well, which isn't too great. But as I've stated before, this is normal for event weeks after a DLC. It takes about a month for the event weeks to go back to normal with the double money on businesses and all that good stuff. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.